this. So this entire world is created so that Krishna wants that, okay, we experience this and come back again. We experience this material universe, the pains and the troubles of this material universe, and then make our decision to go back. So this entire universe, Krishna has created with such complexity so that we understand this. And he has created this for all the Nitya Baddhas. Prabhupada says, writes, Lord is the only enjoyer and all others are enjoyed. Ekala Ishvara Krishna Arasab Bhritya Je Taiche Nachaye Se Taiche Kare Nritya. Everybody is the servant. Living beings are predominated enjoyers. So everybody is enjoyer actually in some way. We are all controllers, but the degree of control is different. Lord is supreme controller. We are also little insignificant controllers. We are also controlling our body, our family, our society, or some way or other we are controlling. So we are predominated enjoyers. We are enjoyers, but we are also controlled by the Lord. And yeah. So then Prabhupada writes, eternally conditioned souls, forgetful of this constitutional position of have strong aspirations to enjoy. The chance to enjoy matter is given to the conditioned souls in the material world, and side by side they are given chance to understand their real constitutional position. So Krishna is like that father who allows the child to experience things, just like Prabhupada who would tell. When I was child, then one time I was trying to put my finger in the moving fan. So my father, he stopped me, but I would not listen. So what he did, he closed the fan, he switched off the fan, and then he told, okay, now you put. And then I put the hand in the fan and there was a big sound, tongue, and then I was hit. Uske baad I never did it. So that's how the living entity, we are suffering. And because Krishna, he told me, please don't go, you will suffer, but we didn't listen. Okay, now you go, you enjoy and then come back. Just like Prabhupada was having a morning walk with all the disciples and they passed by a lake and there was one man, he was fishing, so catching fishes. So as soon as Prabhupada passed by, this person said, oh, so he recognized, he respected, he got up and he offered his obeisances, folded his hands and said, Swamiji, would you like some? Because for Westerners, they don't know what is Swami and what all they eat and what is not to be eaten. So Prabhupada, he didn't chastise him, he didn't blast him, okay, you are nonsense. Prabhupada said, you enjoy. And then he walked off. And after a few steps, he said, and suffer. So that is what is happening to all of us. So living entities, we have come in this world, Nitya Baddha Krishna Hoite, Nitya Bahirmukh, Nitya Samasara Bhunje, Narakati Dukha. We are suffering. Krishna Bahirmukh Hoiya Jiv Bhagavancha Kare, Nikatastha Maya Tare Jhapatiya Dhare. But Krishna never leaves us. Prabhupada writes, he never leaves. All the living entities, they are given chance. Come back. Krishna sends his devotees, Krishna sends books, Krishna comes himself, Krishna comes as deities, Krishna comes as prasad, Krishna comes as devotees. This is all given, this is all sent, these are all sent to give a chance so that we can understand. Those fortunate living entities who catch the truth and surrender unto the Lord, after many, many births, join the eternal liberated souls. Which verse? Those who are fortunate. Paunam Janmanamante. After many, many births, they are allowed to enter into the kingdom of God. And after this, such fortunate living entities need not come again. Where in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says this? Once one goes back to my place, he never returns. I think you are speaking something, but you are on mute. Karuna Manjari Mataji. Anybody else would like to speak something, or which verse tells this? Krishna says, anybody who comes back to my place does not return. Okay, Punaravartin Mamupete to Konte Punarjanam na Vidyate. Yes, that is also there. One more verse.
Natad Bhashyate Suryo.
Next line.
Natad Bhashyate Suryo na Shashanko na Pavaka Yad Gatva na Nivartante Tad Dhama Paramam.
Yad Gatva na Nivartante. Yes, thank you. Yad Gatva na Nivartante. Anybody who goes back once, he never wants to come back because he remembered, Are Baap, last time gaye the, bahut maar padi thi, next time nahi jayenge, you know. So that's how every living entity he remembers. Those who cannot catch the constitutional truth are merged into Mahatattva at the time of creation, at the time of annihilation, and then at the time of creation, again they are put into certain bodies. That's how Prabhupada writes. So now the next verse. So this verse talks about Karano Dakshai Vishnu, Jagrihe Paurusham Rupam. So who is that Paurusha? Which are the three Purusha avatars? We all know, right? Karano Dakshai, Shiro Dakshai, and Garbho Dakshai. So this verse describes Karano Dakshai Vishnu, who is lying in the causal ocean, and from his body pores all the creations are coming out. What comes out from the bodily pores of Mahavishnu? Universes?
Mahatattva.
Yes, practically universe. You know, if you have to tell in a general sense, universes, but actually Dravya comes out. Just like we sweat, liquid comes out. So from the bodily pores of Mahavishnu also some liquid comes out, Dravya. That Dravya is called as Pradhana or Prakriti. Okay. And then when on this Pradhana, time acts and the modes act, then it gets transformed into Mahat Tattva. So the first verse describes Karano Dakshai Vishnu. And then the second verse describes Garbho Dakshai Vishnu. Yasyam Bhasi Shayanasya. Yoga Maya Yoga Nidram Vitanvataha Abhiradam Jadasi Brahma Vishwa Srijampati.
A part of the Purusha lies down within the water of the universe. From the navel, like of his body, sprouts a lotus stem, and from the lotus flower atop this stem, Brahma, the master of all engineers in the universe, becomes manifest.
Okay, so this is a very simple verse. So the first form, Mahavishnu, he is a source of, he is a super soul of entire cosmic manifestation. You know, we have discussed this earlier also. Who is a soul of our, who is a super soul entire in our body? That is
Shirodakshai
Vishnu. Who is the super soul of this entire universe?
Garbhodakshai Vishnu.
Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And who is the super soul of entire cosmic manifestation? Karanodakshai Vishnu. So the first form, Mahavishnu, he technically comes from which of the Chaturvyuha expansions? There are 4 Chaturvyuha.
Narayana.
Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Sankarshan, Aniruddha. Out of which?
Sankarshan.
Sankarshan. So from Sankarshan, Mahavishnus appear. Now, from Mahavishnu, the second expansion comes, that is Garbho Dakshai. Just put somebody to mute. Okay. So from Mahavishnu, Garbho Dakshai Vishnu comes. Yasya Ambhasi Shayanasya. Ambhasi means water, Shayanas means lying down. So Garbhodaksha Vishnu is lying down on the bed of snake in the Garbhodak ocean. Garbhodak ocean, So as you can see in this next pic, yeah. So this is Garbhodaksha Vishnu lying down on the bed of snake in the Garbhodak ocean. Yasya ambhasi shayanasya yoga nidra. He is sleeping. Yoga nidra. But his nidra is not like ours. When we sleep, only sound comes. But when Mahavishnu sleeps, universes come out. We don't create anything when we sleep. We may disturb other person's sleep when we sleep, But Mahavishnu's sleeping can create universes. Garbhodaksha Vishnu sleeping can create universes. Nabhi, and then as he's lying down, Nabhi, from his navel, what comes out? Ambuja, lotus. And on that lotus, Brahma takes birth, who is Vishwasrijam Pati. Brahma is the engineer of this universe, Vishwasrija. So the first form, now some technical explanation. First form, Mahavishnu comes from Sankarshan. From where Garbhodaksha Vishnu comes from?
From Karnataka ocean. Oh,
Okay.
Karnataka Vishnu. Sorry.
Okay. But technically speaking, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, please write down this. Garbhodaksha Vishnu is an expansion of Pradyumna. Although he comes through Mahavishnu, but he appears as an expansion of Pradyumna. And then from Garbhodaksha Vishnu, who comes?
Shirodaksha.
Vishnu.
So Shirodaksha Vishnu is an expansion of Aniruddha. Okay. So this is the technical understanding of how the expansions of Mahavishnu appear. So although they all come, sequentially, we tell that from Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, from Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu, and it is fact. But actually, origin is from the Chaturvyuha. From Sankarshan, Mahavishnu comes. From Pradyumna, Garbhodaksha Vishnu comes. From Aniruddha, Shirodaksha Vishnu comes.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
as you said that from Sankarshan, Karnataka Vishnu is coming. From Karnataka Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu is coming, and from Garbhodaksha, Shirodaksha Vishnu is coming. Garbhodaksha Vishnu is an expansion of Pradyumna, and Shirodaksha Vishnu is an expansion of Aniruddha. Then is Karnataka Vishnu is also expansion of anyone? Like
बताया ना Karnataka Vishnu Mahavishnu same ना, he is expansion of Sankarshan ना.
he is an expansion of Sankarshan. He is coming from Sankarshan, both the things.
हाँ. Sankarshan, Mahavishnu, Karnataka Vishnu, they are same. Same name, same personality, two names, Mahavishnu, Karnataka Vishnu. Sankarshan expansion is Mahavishnu, Pradyumna's expansion is Garbhodaksha, Aniruddha's expansion is Karnataka. But they come from Mahavishnu comes Garbhodaksha, but he appears to come from Mahavishnu, but actually originates from Pradyumna. So Prabhupada writes, first Purusha is Shirodaksha, and then from him comes Garbhodaksha. He is lying within the universe. So as Karnadaksha Vishnu creates this entire material elements, we have discussed this many times. So there are 24 elements which are created, and then just like abhi poha banana hai, all the ingredients are lying down. Abhi poha hai, usme haldi hai, sabji hai. But you need somebody to mix them, right? You need somebody to put them in the kadhai. So Garbhodaksha Vishnu, so Karnadaksha Vishnu is that personality who activates all these elements, mixes them together, and makes the universal shell that is called as a golden shell, that is called as Brahmand. That Brahmand lies inactive for 1,000 years, nothing happens. Then Karnadaksha Vishnu expands as Garbhodaksha, enters each and every universe, And then Garbhodaksha Vishnu does further things. So Prabhupada writes all that. In the third paragraph, Prabhupada writes, the conclusion is that Purusha Avatar is manifested in three features. Karanadaksha Vishnu, who creates aggregate material ingredients. Garbhodaksha Vishnu, who enters each and every universe. Shirodaksha Vishnu, who is Paramatma of every material object. One who knows these plenary portions, plenary features of personality, knows Godhead properly, and he is free from birth, old age, disease, and death. That is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Where it is said in Bhagavad Gita? The knower becomes free from all material conditions of birth, old age, disease, and death. Anyone remembers?
Janma karma cha mrityam.
Okay. Yes, that is there. So particularly, yeah, that is the one of the verse. Another verse where it is described, birth, old age, disease. One who understands this knowledge about the Supreme Lord, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam. One who understands the knowledge of the Supreme Lord, and he sees that birth, old age, disease, and death, they are only giving misery to the living entity. So Janma Karma Chame Divyam. Anybody who understands this, they become free. In this shloka, the subject matter of Mahavishnu is summarized. He lies in Karna ocean. Then Prabhupada gives an analogy. What is the analogy? He says, okay. In due course, a tree decorates itself with innumerable grown fruits. Similarly, material universe is created into variegated features. The seed of a tree is sown by the cultivator, and the tree or creeper in due course becomes manifested with so many fruits. Nothing can take place without a cause. Karana means causal. We should not foolishly accept the atheistic theory of creation. The description of atheists is given in Bhagavad Gita. The atheist does not believe in creator. Where it is given in Bhagavad Gita? The description of atheists? Where all it is described? Many verses described.
16th chapter, Prabhuji, that those are mischievous and fallen.
Yes, that is one.
They perpetually cast them into the lowest species of life.
Naham prakasha sarvasya.
Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavrita. I don't reveal myself to them. Those who are faithless. Another place it is described. Avajananti mama mudha. Foolish cannot understand me. So atheistic theory is not accepted.
18th chapter.
Sorry?
18th chapter also, na, ki don't share it with a faithless person. Okay, last.
Yes, we should not share this knowledge with an atheistic person. We should not foolishly accept the atheistic theory of creation. Material nature has no power to create without the power of Purusha. Anybody remembers any example to Prabhupada would tell that material scientists, they are misguided. They tell everything is coming from material creation. Any example anybody remembers? Which Prabhupada would tell that this is how material scientists are so fool, they can't understand. You know, Prabhupada.
Life comes from matter. This is how he told.
Yeah, he gives an example. How scientists, they foolishly believe that life comes from matter. There is an example which is given in Bhagavad Gita. He gives an example, just like, you know, scorpions lay eggs in the rice,
Yes.
pile of rice.
Yes.
And when the scorpions come out of the rice, then
Out of this.
foolish person thinks, array, just see, rice is giving birth to scorpions.
Scorpions.
So that's how scientists, they see material nature is giving birth to all these creations, but they don't realize that somebody laid the eggs there. Where Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that I am the seed giving father.
14th chapter, Aham Bija Pradapita.
Aham bija pradapita. I am the seed giving father. I am the mother, father, pitahamasya jagato, mata, dhata, pitamaha. That's how Prabhupada writes here. A woman cannot produce a child without the connection of Purusha. The Purusha impregnates, Prakriti delivers. We should not expect milk from the fleshy bags on the neck of a goat, although they look like breastly nipples. So all of us must have seen that. They look like nipples, but no milk will come out. That's how Prakriti seems to deliver the various creations, but it is Krishna who is impregnating the Prakriti. Okay, so next verse. Yasya Vaibhav samsthanaihi kalpito loka vistaraha Vaibhavato rupam shuddham sattvam urjitam.
It is believed that all the universal planetary systems are situated on the extensive body of the Purusha, but he has nothing to do with the created material ingredients. His body is eternally in spiritual existence par excellence.
Okay. So Yasya Avayava. Yasya Avayava samsthanahi. Avayava means bodily expansions. So from this Garbhodakshai Vishnu, all the planetary systems are coming. Kalpito loka vistaraha. And the yogis, they imagine that this creation is a body of the Lord, and that is called as Virata Rupa. Tadvai Bhagavato Rupam. They consider that this is a body of the Lord. But actually, Supreme Lord has nothing to do with this material creation. He's not contaminated, because Lord is Vishuddham. He is always pure. He is Sattvam Urjitam. He is par excellence. His situation, his existing par excellence. So therefore, when people, they cannot perceive anything spiritual, then they are told, okay, you consider this material universe only as spiritual, as a form of the Lord, not spiritual. So one can connect to spiritual Lord by connecting to the material form of the Lord. It's like child cannot understand what is moon. So what mother tells, beta, she shows a mirror. You can see this. This is sun. This is moon. So therefore, the yogis and jnanis, they cannot accept. Those who are less qualified, less elevated, they cannot think anything beyond the material forms of this world. So they are told, okay, you focus on this material form only. You consider this universe only as the form of the Lord. So that is the understanding. Prabhupada writes, this conception of Virata Rupa is for neophyte who can hardly think of the transcendental form of the Lord. So therefore, they are told that, okay, you worship this material form of the Lord. Then the fourth verse describes that, but the devotees, they are not interested in anything material of this world. They are interested in the form of the Lord. Pashyantya rupamadabra chakshusha sahasrapado purupujanamnadbhutam sahasramurdha shravanakshinnasikam sahasramolyam varakundalolasat.
The devotees with their perfect eyes see the transcendental form of the Purusha, who has thousands of legs, thighs, arms, and faces, all extraordinary. In that body, there are thousands of heads, ears, eyes, and noses. They are decorated with thousands of helmets and glowing earrings and are adorned with the garlands.
Okay. So this is the description of the Virat Purusha, and the devotees, they understand that this Virat Purusha is a material form of the transcendental Lord. Pashyanti Adaha. This Rupa, this material universe, it is a manifestation of the Lord's transcendental form. Lord's form is never affected by the material creation. And in this, what is happening? Sahasra Padoru, Bhujana, thousands of hands, thousands of legs, thousands of faces, all extraordinary. Adbhutam. They are decorated with thousands of helmets, Sahasra, Mauli, Ambara, Kundala. They are decorated. So this is similar to a verse of Purusha Sukta. What is Purusha Sukta? Very famous hymn which comes in Rig Veda. So this, if you have this Subodhini, you can, it is there in the, I think, page number 206 somewhere. Yeah, it is there on page 206, Subodhini. Purusha Sukta confirmed. This is the chapter in the second canto. Prabhupada entitles this chapter as Purusha Sukta confirmed. So now some technical understanding of why Prabhupada entitles this chapter as Purusha Sukta confirmed. What is the understanding of it? So just give me 1 minute. So this comes in the second canto of 6th chapter. So where Prabhupada, he entitles Purusha Sukta. What is this Purusha Sukta? Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishwato Virtva Atyatishtaddashangulam. This is how this Purusha Sukta starts. So this Purusha Sukta is describing Garbho Dakshai Vishnu. So this is a very technical explanation. We'll not go into the detail. So just to understand briefly, what is this Purusha Sukta? Purusha Sukta describes the personality who has manifested this material universe. And we all know who has manifested this material planetary system, that is Garbhodakshay Vishnu. But interestingly, this Purusha Sukta is sung in all the temples. If you go to Shiva temple, there also you will find Shaivites singing Purusha Sukta. Because in this Purusha Sukta, who is this Purusha, that is not clarified. We all know from Bhagavatam, this is Purusha Sukta is, who is this Purusha? Garbhodakshay Vishnu. But Lord Shiva's followers also sing this Purusha Sukta and they tell, no, this Purusha is Lord Shiva. So Bhagavatam confirms that this Purusha is not Lord Shiva. This Purusha is Garbhodakshay Vishnu. That's why Prabhupada entitles that chapter as Purusha Sukta confirmed. Because the verses which come in Purusha Sukta, they are exactly resembling the verses which come in Bhagavatam. So that's why it is described like that. So Prabhupada writes, now Prabhupada gives a completely devotional purport and devotional understanding. He does not go into the detail of all the Garbhodakshay, Karanodakshay. He says, devotees who have their perfect eyes can see the transcendental form of the Lord. And Prabhupada writes, our present eyes are to be rectified by the process of devotional service. Unless the eyes are smeared with the salve of love, we cannot see the Lord. Where it is mentioned? Only the eyes which are covered with the ointment of
Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochana.
Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochana. So that's what Prabhupada writes here. Only devotees can know me. Prabhupada writes, Bhagavad Gita, it is confirmed that transcendental Lord can be perceived only by pure devotional service. Where? Which verse? Lord can be perceived. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Only Lord, only devotional service can reveal the Lord. So it is confirmed that only devotional service can lead one to the side of the Lord. Only bhakti, nothing else. And bhakti can be achieved by relationship with a bhakta. Bhaktya sanjayate bhakti. Prabhupada writes, in the material world also, we do not always see things with our own eyes. We sometimes see through the experience of those who have actually seen or done things. Very few of us who may have gone to West and seen actually America is existing. None of us have seen Mahatma Gandhi. We give this general, understanding logic, but still we believe it because we hear from people who have seen or heard, or we read about Mahatma Gandhi, or we read about our acharyas. Prabhupada writes, this is a process for experiencing a mundane object. It is more perfectly applicable in matters transcendental. Only with patience and perseverance can be realized. So this is a very, very important thing Prabhupada is writing. Patience and perseverance. It translates to which two words? Patience and perseverance. Utsa, Nishchay and Dhairya. So these three things are required. Nishchay and Dhairya. When we are having these two qualities, patience and perseverance, then we can perceive the Lord. Otherwise, in the practice of spiritual life, many times it feels that अरे अभी तक इतने सालों से भक्ति कर रहे हैं, अभी भी उधर ही लगता है. No advancement. Patience. Dhairya is very, very important. Because that is the nature of this world. That is how Mayadev will make us feel that you are not advancing. This process is not working for you. Give it up. So we have to be patient. Continue struggling, continue striving. That's what Prabhupada writes. And then the fifth verse. Etan nanavataranam.
Etam nanavataranam.
Nidhanam bijam apyayam.
Nidhanam bijam
Yasyam sham shena srijyante.
yasyam srijyante
Devakiryan naradayah.
This form, the second manifestations of the Purusha, is the source and indestructible seeds of multifarious incarnation within the universe. From the particles and portions of this form, different living entities like the demigods, men, and others are created.
So, etan nanavataranam. So, this form, which is this form? That is Garbho Dakshai Vishnu. He is the Nidhanam. His Nidhanam means he is the source. Bijam, he is a seed. Avyayam, inexhaustible, never gets exhausted. It is not that abhi, this creation only one incarnation. Oh, ho gaya, mera quota pura ho gaya. No. Lord has unlimited incarnations. Avyayam. Yasya amsha. So from the expansions of the expansions, all these creations are coming. Expansion means Karanodakshaya Vishnu. Expansion of the expansion is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So amshena Deva Tiryan Nara Adayaha. All the devatas, men, and all the other beings are created. So actually, if you see technically, all the incarnations, they come through Shirodakshai Vishnu in this world. But here it is mentioned that Garbhodakshai Vishnu is the source. So is there any contradiction? No, because Garbhodakshai Vishnu gives, from Garbhodakshai Vishnu comes Shirodakshai Vishnu, and from Shirodakshai Vishnu comes all the avatars. So it is not wrong to say Garbhodaksha Vishnu is the source of all the incarnations. It is all same, you know. So that's how all the avatars they come. In every Manvantara, how many Manvantars are there in one day of Brahma?
14.
72.
14.
14 Manus.
14.
In one day of Brahma, 14 Manus are there. Okay. So in one Manvantara, how many Yuga cycles?
71.
72. So in one Manvantar, 71 Yuga cycles are there. And there are 14 Manvantars. In every Manvantar, 6 types of incarnations appear. So it comes in the 6th canto. 5th canto, sorry. Manvantaram, Manu Deva, Manuputra, Mahojasa, Rishayo, Amshavatarasta. So first is the ruling Manu. So which is this Manvantar going on?
Devaswat.
Devaswat.
Vaivaswata. And who is the Manu?
Vaswan.
Vamandev.
Sorry?
Vamandev.
Vamandev is not Manu.
Vaivaswan.
Manvantra avatar.
Saraswat. Manu.
Swayambhu.
जितना word याद है सब बोल दीजिए. So this Manvantar is, his name is Shraddha Dev. Okay.
Yes.
Shraddha Dev is the son of Vivaswan. That's why he is also called as Vaivaswata. Okay. So this is the 7th Manvantar. Shraddha Dev is the Manu here. So first is Manu, then Manuputraha, sons of Manu. They are also the expansions of the Lord. They are not ordinary personalities. They are all, of course, Shakti-Avesh avatars. They are not personal expansions. They are Shakti-Avesh avatars. Shureshwaraha. Sureshwara. Who is Sureshwar? Indra. What is the name of current Indra?
Purandar.
Purandar. Yes. So who will be the next Indra?
Bali Maharaj.
Bali Maharaj. Yes. So Bali Maharaj is the next Indra. So Manuputra Sureshwar, Rishayaha, the great sages, the 7, the Sapta Rishis. In every Manvantara, the Sapta Rishis are different. So Sapta Rishis are post. Manu is a post. Indra is a post. And Amshavatar, the avatars of the Lord. So there are unlimited incarnations. They are all coming from Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So Prabhupada in the purport writes in detail about the creation again, how from Garbhodaksha Vishnu, lotus comes out and Brahma takes birth, and then Brahma does the creation, Lord Rudra comes out of him. So that's how this entire purport is. Prabhupada gives the technical details. There are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma, and then one day of Brahma is how much. He gives the life duration of Brahma. All that is described in this verse. And then from the next verse, so in this verse, Prabhupada, in this purport, Prabhupada mentions all the 14 Manus. If somebody wants to know kaun se Manu aaye, kaun se baki hain, Prabhupada writes, Yagya is Swayambhu Manu, Vibhu is Swarochisha, Satyasen is Uttama, Hari as Tamasa, Vaikuntha as Raivata, Ajita as Chakshusha, Vamana as Vaivaswata. Vamana is Vaivaswata Manu. Okay. I'll have to check. Okay. Sarvabhaum as Savarni, Rishabha as Daksha Savarni, Vishwakasen as Brahma Savarni, Dharmasetu Dharma Savarni. So that's how the 14 Manvantaras are, Manus are described. In every Manvantara, there is an avatar of the Lord, who is Amshavatar. So now from 6th verse onwards, there is a list of 22 incarnations that are mentioned here. So somebody can, okay, we'll recite these verses. They are beautiful verses, worth rising. Prabhu, Mahesh Prabhu, from your side said there is some disturbance is coming. So please keep yourself muted. I'm putting everyone to mute. You can unmute yourself if you want to speak something. So all these verses, they are very beautiful. These describes the various 22 avatars. So it begins with the first, which is Kaumara, the 4 Kumaras. So we'll recite the 6th verse. Saeva Prathamam Devaha Kaumaram Sargamashritah Dushcharam Brahma Brahmacharyam Akanditam.
First of all, in the beginning of creation, there were the 4 unmarried sons of Brahma, the Kaumaras, who, being situated in a vow of celibacy, underwent severe austerities for realizations of the absolute truth. Hare Krishna.
So these incarnations, they are not in chronological order. So first this came, then the other came. No. So Sudha Goswami is not mentioning them in chronology. So the first incarnation is the Kumaras. So these 4 Kumaras, they appeared in the beginning of the creation. The pastime of these creation of Kumaras come in the 3rd canto, where Brahmaji, on the order of the Lord, he started creation. So first, the Kumaras were created from the mind of the Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma told them, please procreate. So 4 Kumaras said, हम तो ब्रह्मचारी बन रहे हैं, हम तो नहीं शादी करेंगे भाई, you know. So Brahmaji, he became angry, but he knew that these Kumaras, they are actually following a higher duty of self-realization. So he controlled his anger, but the anger came out from the middle of his eyebrows as who appeared?
Rudra.
Yes. So Rudra appeared, Lord Shiva, he appeared from the Brahmaji's anger. So Prabhupada writes, so this verse says, Tachar Dushcharam Brahmacharyam Akhanditam. So they followed the vows of celibacy and underwent severe austerities. So austerities, they are very, very important and integral aspect of human form of life. So these 4 Kumaras, they represent the Jnana Shakti of the Lord. They are empowered. They are the incarnations. They are not Vishnu Tattva, they are Jiva Tattva, but they are empowered representatives. So they are empowered representatives who represent the Jnana Shakti of the Lord. That is mentioned. Prabhupada writes. Example suggests that one must first acquire the qualifications of Brahmana, not simply by birth, but also by quality, and then one can undergo the process of Brahman realization. So severe austerities. Tapasa brahmacharyena shamena cha damena cha tyagena satya sauchabhyam samskarais tapasijya yamena niyamena va. So tapasya brahmacharyena. So tapasya is very important. That's what Rishabdev told all his sons. Tapo divyam putraka. Prabhupada has quoted this verse many times. Tapo divyam. Please follow the principles of austerity. This human form of life is not meant for sense gratification. It is meant for tapasya. So the first avatar is the Kumaras. Next is the avatar of Shukara, Varahadev. Dvitiyam tu bhavayasya lagatam mulam karishyannupadatta yakyeshah saukaram vapuh.
The supreme enjoyer of all sacrifices accepted the incarnation of a boar, the second incarnation, and for the welfare of the earth, he lifted the earth from the nether regions of the universe.
Okay. So this pastime comes in which canto? Anyone knows? The pastime of Varahadev comes in third canto again. Yeah. So it comes in third canto again. So there are two Varaha avatars. Two times Varahadev appears. Although in the third canto, it comes in a sequence. So, you know, if you don't read the Acharya's commentaries, you will not realize that there are two avatars mentioned in one pastime. First time, Lord Varaha appeared in the Swayambhuva Manvantara, the first Manvantara. So what happened? At Kumaras appeared, then Lord Brahmaji told, okay, please procreate. So bole, hum to nahi karenge, hum to ja rahe hain, brahmachari banenge. Then Lord Shiva appeared. Then he started procreating all the fierce living entities who started destroying this universe. So Brahmaji bole, to ulta ho raha hai bhai. You know, please you go and do tapasya. I'll call you at the time of annihilation. Then Brahma created all the sages and then all the other living entities. But still, the universe was not getting full with all the living entities. The sages, you know, they are in the mode of goodness. So they were not procreating much. As Brahmaji was thinking, two personalities appeared from the body of Brahma, a male and female. Who were they? The first male and the first female?
Manu and Shatrupa.
Manu and Shatarupa. So Manu and Shatrupa appeared, and then Swayambhu Manu, like a very obedient son, he says, "Oh father, what can I do for you? Please instruct me." So Swayambhu Manu, he was very pleased. He says, "Badham iti. Oh, I am very pleased with you, my son. Please fill this entire universe with living entities." So Swayambhu Manu said, "Okay, but there is one problem. उनके लिए रहने के लिए जगह नहीं है, because the universe, the Bhumandal is not there." So what had happened, because of some situation, some circumstances, Bhumandal had gone in the Garbhodak ocean, not because of Hiranyakashipu or Hiranyaksha. That appears in the sixth Manu. This is first Manu. So the Bhumandal was in the ocean. So then Brahmaji was thinking what to do. Then Lord Vara appeared from the nostril of Brahmaji and then took out Mother Earth, Bhumandal, and then went back to the spiritual world. That is first Manvantara. Then again in the sixth Manvantar, what happened? The story here comes. Diti, she was requesting Kashyapa to unite at a wrong time. So Kashyapa tried to persuade her, but she didn't listen, and then they procreated, and then Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu was born. So all the devatas, they went to Brahma and said, "Are ye Brahmaji, please tell us, who are these people?" So then he tells the story of Jai Vijay. And then this Hiranyaksha, he enters the ocean, Garbhodak ocean, because the Mother Earth was in the ocean. How did Mother Earth go into the ocean? What is the general understanding which we hear?
Mother Earth falls into Garbhodakshai ocean.
How?
No, we heard that Hiranyaksha actually puts her into.
But Bhagavatam doesn't describe this.
Maybe it happened during the annihilation time.
Annihilation happens when?
Pralay.
See, this Chakshusha Manvantara, this happens in the middle of the Chakshusha Manvantara. So what had happened in the Chakshusha Manvantara, if you hear the 8th canto, it comes, the story of Matsyavatar. You know, Matsyavatar ka story aata hai. So Matsyavatar appeared to show mercy to a king named Satyavrata. And for him, there was a extra annihilation which was created. It was not a scheduled annihilation. So in the previous Yuga cycle, at the end of the fifth Manu, or sorry, at the end of the previous Yuga cycle, in the sixth Manvantar only, the annihilation happened in the middle of the Manvantara. It was not planned. So therefore the earth had gone into the ocean. So then Hiranyaksha, he thought, okay, this belongs to the demons because the lower regions belong to demons. Then Varahadev appeared from the nostril of Brahmaji again, and then he killed Hiranyaksha, and then he delivered Mother Earth. So that is the story which is described in Bhagavatam. And of course, Prabhupada also writes in one of the plays that because he drilled Mother Earth so much, he mined so much of the gold out of it, that the earth lost the balance and went into the Garbhodak ocean. That's what Prabhupada also mentions in one of the purports. But in the Bhagavatam, it is not it is not mentioned as it is. It may have happened in some other kalpa or somewhere, but the Bhagavatam story is this. So these are the two Varahadevs of incarnations which are mentioned. Then we'll go to the third one. Tritiyam.
Prabhuji, out of these, which one is the Shvetvara and the Raktavara? Is there a difference?
Shvet is the first one, Rakta is the sixth one.
Okay.
सिक्स्थ मनवंतर में जो आए थे वो रक्तवरा है. रक्त और नीलवरा, कभी रक्त भी बोलते हैं, नील भी बोलते हैं. And the first one, Swayambhu Manvantar, was the Shvetavara.
Okay.
Tritiyam Rishi Sargam Vai.
Tritiyam Rishi Sargam Vai.
Vivarshitvam Upetyasaha. Tantram Satvatam Achashta. Nishkarmyam Karmanam Yataha.
In the millennium of crisis, the person of the Godhead accepted the third empowered incarnation in the form of Devrishi Narada, who is great sage among the demigods. He collected the expositions of the Vedas, which deal with the devotional service and which inspire non-purisive action.
So Narad Muni is an empowered incarnation. He is also an avatar. He is also another Jiva who is an empowered incarnation. Shaktyavesh avatar. So he is the father, he is the, sorry, not father, he is the guru of all the big personalities. And he comes throughout the Bhagavatam. He is mentioned throughout the Bhagavatam, right? From the beginning of the Bhagavatam, it will come in the fourth chapter end, where he inspires Vyasadev to write Srimad Bhagvatam. He chastises Vyasadev, what type of literature you have written. People are already interested in sense gratification, and you have given them a bona fide way to do sense gratification. Jugupsitam dharma kritenu shashvata svabhavaraktasya mahan vyatikrama. Mahan vyatikrama, great, abominable. Jugupsitam. So Prabhupada writes, Narada Muni is author of Narada Pancharatra, which is the exposition of the Vedas, particularly for devotional service. It trains karmis to achieve liberation from fruitive work. The conditioned souls are mostly attracted by fruitive work because they want to enjoy life by the sweat of their own brows. Prabhupada writes such wonderful line. They want to enjoy life by the sweat of their own brows. They are working so hard. Prabhupada mentions in so many places, people, they work like asses. Although the grass is available everywhere, but still donkey works whole day, and in the end of the day, he gets few straws of grass and thinks, just see, I'm such a nice person working so hard. Prabhupada was traveling in train, and he met somebody was sitting in front, and so they started discussing. And they said, Swamiji, Bhagavad Gita means karma yoga, right? Bhagavad Gita means work is worship. Prabhupada said, no, work is not worship. Working for Krishna is worship. You know, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu says, if work is worship, then donkey is the biggest worshipper. Because donkey works very hard. Whole day is working. You know. So therefore, Narad Muni trains all these conditioned souls who want to enjoy life by the sweat of their own brows. Prabhupada writes, foolish materialists have no information of how to obtain eternal happiness. Sri Narada informs these foolish fruity workers how to realize the reality of happiness. Physicians direct the patients to take the treated milk in the form of curd for his suffering from indigestion. So what we have to do, basically Prabhupada is writing, we are living in this material world, we have this material body, but we have to take care of this, we have to use this same body to come out of this material existence. Prabhupada would say we have to make the best use of bad bargain. So whatever body we have, use it for self-realization. Nayam deho deh bhajam niloke kashtan kaman arahti vidbujami tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam shuddhyed yasmad brahma saukhyam tvanantam. So Prabhupada would tell that, so Rishabdev tells to all his sons, 100 sons, this body should not be used for sense gratification. Sense gratification is available everywhere. Even if you don't want, it will come. So therefore, one should not endeavor for happiness. That's what Prahlad tells to his friends. Sukham indriyakam daitya dehinam dehayoginam sarvatra labhyate daivad yatha dukkham ayatnatah tatprayaso na kartavyo yatha ayu vayah param na tatha vindate shemam mukunda charanambujam. Oh my friends, sukham indriyakam, the sense pleasure is available in all the species of life. Even if somebody gets a body of which is hellish, still one does not want to leave that. And the famous story is of, anybody knows the story which describes?
Lord Indra.
Lord Indra. He came big, but still he was not able to give up that. That's what Prahlad tells. Please don't endeavor for happiness. Endeavor for Mukunda Charana Ambuja. Please strive to attain the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. That's what Narad Muni will tell in the 5th chapter also. Tasyeva heto prayateta kovido na labhyate yad brahmatam upariyadaha tallabhyate dukkhavadanyata sukham kalena sarvatra gabhira ramahasa. Tasyeva heto, therefore, one should endeavor for that which is not available in the 14 planetary systems. And that is devotional service. The chance to attain the lotus feet of the Lord, we should endeavor for that. So that's how we have to use this body to attain perfection. Bhagavad Gita also gives the same solution of serving the Lord by fruits of one's labor. That will lead one to the path of Naishkarmya. Where it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita? Serve the Lord by fruits of one's labor.
Yad karoshi, yad jujoshi, yad dadashi.
Yes, that is also there. Many verses tell this. Yad karoshi, yad ashnasi, yad jujoshi. Okay. Any other verse? Yagyarthat karmano anyatra. Anybody else? Any other verse? Okay. So when you offer everything in the service of the Lord, then you'll be liberated. Naishkarmya. Okay, then the 4th verse, the 4th incarnation. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, the Lord making his appearance among the sages as Narada made the Pancharatra. From these one can learn devotional activities. Turiye dharma kala sarage.
Surye dharma kala sarve
Kala Sande
Narayana Vrishi
Naro Narayana
Bhutvatmopashamopetam
Bhutva
Akaro Dusharam Tapaha.
In the fourth incarnation, the Lord became Nara and Narayana, the twin sons of Vaibhav, King Dharma. Thus, he undertook severe and exemplary penance to control the senses. Hare Krishna.
So Narayana Rishi, they took birth from Dharma and from the wife of Dharma. So the story of Narayana Rishi comes in the 8th canto, 9th canto, 11th canto. It comes again and again. So they are the presiding deities of this Bharata Varsha. That's why they are most important. That's why in the Mangalacharan verses, 4 personalities are offered obeisances. Which verse? Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam. Why only Narayana Rishi are mentioned here? Because they are the presiding deities of Bharat Varsha. You know, in the 5th canto we'll study. I think we had discussed in Bhakti Shastri also. You know, this Bharat Varsha, there are 9 Varshas in Bhumandala. So ours is a Bharat Varsha. So the presiding deity of Bharat Varsha is Narayana Rishi. So they are setting an example by following intense tapasya. He undertook severe and exemplary penance to control the senses. Prabhupada writes, tapasya for self-realization is the only duty of the human being. It was done by the Lord himself in an exemplary manner to teach us. And then Prabhupada writes, Lord is so very kind. He comes himself, he sends his representatives, and he comes as Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the same purpose, to save the fallen conditioned souls. Ei gupta bhava sindhu brahma napa eka bindu hena dhana bilaida samsare aiche dayalu avatar aiche data nahiyar guna keha nare varnibare. So he is most merciful incarnation, Lord Sri Chaitanya. And Narayana Rishi, where they are staying? They are staying in Badri Narayan. It is not the Badrinath of India. They are staying in the greater Himalayas. We have discussed in Bhakti Shastri also this. So whatever Kedarnath, Badrinath we have in India, they are the replicas of the original Kedarnath, original Badrinath of the greater Himalayas, where Vyasdev is still staying, where Narayana Rishis are still staying. They are not staying in our Indian, Himalayas. But by going to these places, we get the same credit of going to the original Adi Badri, Adi Kedarnath, which is there in greater Himalayas, which is separating Bharat Varsha from Kim Purusha Varsha. There is a greater Himalaya which is separating Bharat Varsha and Kim Purusha Varsha. In that, Vyasdev is still there. Narayana Rishis are still there. In Kim Purusha Varsha, Hanumanji is still there. We all know. Hanumanji is still residing. Where is he staying? He is staying in Kim Purusha Varsha. So Prabhupada writes that the incarnation of Narayan is still worshipped as Badri Narayan. So this is our Badri. Okay, so now the 5th one, Panchama Kapilo Nama.
Panchama Kapilo Nama.
Deshvakala Viplutam. Provacha Suraye Sankhyam. Tattvagrama Vinirnayam.
The first incarnation, named Lord Kapila, is foremost among perfecter beings. He gave an exposition of the created elements and metaphysics to Asuri Brahmana, for in course of time, this knowledge had been lost.
Okay, so this The pastime of Lord Kapiladev comes in the 3rd canto. He is born of Devahuti and Kardama Muni, the famous daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, Devahuti. Swayambhuva Manu had 3 daughters and 2 sons. Who are they? Anybody knows? 3 daughters of Swayambhuva Manu.
Akuti,
And 2 sons.
Priyavrat and Uttanpad.
Yeah. So the entire 3rd canto describes Devahuti. 4th canto describes Priyavrat. 4th canto describes Uttanpad. That is the father of Dhruva. 5th canto describes Priyavrat. So that's how the entire dynasty is described in 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th canto is the further progenies of Prasuti, Daksha. So Kapila was born from Devahuti and Kardamuni, and he explained this Sankhya philosophy. And Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes what is this Sankhya. Sankhya is counting. Sankhya, it comes from the word Sankhya, counting. So to count the material elements, that is called Sankhya. What is the purpose of Sankhya? Why Sankhya is understood? Why it is required? What is the purpose and how it is different from Bhakti?
Sankhya is knowledge of body and soul, and it helps us to know our relationship. And the difference is it is like finding the root, and Bhakti is like watering the root.
Yeah. So Sankhya means disintegrating this entire material universe into elements. And what happens when we disintegrate the material elements, material nature into elements? For example, now today everybody is fasting. So in the evening, if some nice feast is prepared, now automatically you start salivating. अरे पनीर बना है, एकादशी में बहुत कुछ बनता है, you know, एकादशी में ज्यादा feasting होता है इस्कॉन में. हम लोग को पता चलेगा तो एकादशी में ऐसा ऐसा खाते हैं, लोग शौक लग जाते हैं हम लोग. So now if suppose on Dwadashi day you see a nice rasgulla or gulab jamun, immediately you start salivating. But anybody starts salivating when they see atta, maida, shakkar, pani? No. That is what is Sankhya. You break down this beautiful form of this world into elements. Oh, this beautiful form, what is this? Oh, atta, maida hai. What is this beautiful form? Made of earth, fire, water, air, ether. So what is why one should get attracted? That's how the Jnanis, they are detached from this material world by understanding, oh, this beauty of this world, it is just elements. So that is called as Sankhya. And it is a very technical explanation. So Prabhupada writes, etymological meaning of Sankhya is that which explains very lucidly by analysis of the material elements. So Prabhupada writes very nicely in Bhagavad Gita, Sankhya is finding the root of the tree and Bhakti is watering the root of the tree. So we should not just waste time finding the root. We know the root is there inside. We don't have to find it. Just water the root. Yatha tarorumul nishechanena tripyanti tatskanda bhujopashakha pranopahara chatathendriyanam sarvar arahanam yatha achyutejya. By watering the root of the tree, entire tree is nourished. Similarly, by serving Krishna, everybody is satisfied. Another example is of the stomach. When you put food in the stomach, entire body is nourished. Shashtham matrera patyatvam prapto yusuyaya anvimalarkaya prahlādādibhya ūcimān.
The 6th incarnation of the Purusha was the son of the sage Atri. He was born from the womb of Anusaya, who prayed for an incarnation. He spoke on the subject of transiting to Alarga, Prahlad and others, Yadu, Hai, etc.
So who is this personality?
Dattatreya.
Datta, Lord Datta.
Dattatreya. Yes, Dattatreya. So he took birth from Atri and Anusuya. So Atri and Anusuya, the story comes in the 4th canto. So Atri, the great rishi, he wanted to get son. So he worshipped the Supreme Lord, although he didn't know who is the Supreme. So he was just offering prayers, telling, "Oh Supreme Lord, please appear. You are the most powerful. You are the creator. You are the maintainer. You are the destroyer." He was not taking any names. So hearing these prayers, all three came. Brahma also, Vishnu also, Mahesh also. And then Atri, when he saw, he said, "Whom did I call by my prayers? All of you have come." So all of them said, "Okay, actually we are all one and the same personality. There is no difference between us. We are all qualitative avatars." So then from Vishnu, Dattatreya appeared. From Rudra, who appeared from Rudra? From Lord Shiva? Anybody knows?
Durvasa Muni.
Durvasa Muni appeared from Lord Shiva. And from Brahmaji, who appeared?
Moon god.
Moon god, yes, Somadev. So this Dattatreya, although he is a avatar of the Lord, but why we don't worship Dattatreya?
Because like impersonalists, they worship Dattatreya.
Yeah. Because Dattatreya, he explained the philosophy of impersonalism in detail. That's why we don't worship Dattatreya. Although he's an avatar of the Lord. But because he explained this impersonalistic philosophy, that's why the devotees, they don't worship Lord Dattatreya. Just like Buddha, he's also avatar of the Lord. But because he propagated voidism, we don't worship. So this personality, he met Prahlad. You know, it comes in the 7th canto. Prahlad was roaming in the kingdom and he found one personality who was lying down and he was not moving. So that was Dattatreya. It comes in the 11th canto. You know who is he? Anybody knows? In the 11th canto, where is Dattatreya? Everybody must have heard it.
He gives the examples of the 24 gurus.
So that personality who learned from 24 gurus, that personality is Dattatreya. Okay. So that is not mentioned exactly, but the acharyas, they describe that this is Dattatreya. So that is what is described by Prabhupada. He spoke to Yadu, Hai, Alarka and Prahlad. And this personality met, so Yadu, he met this Avadhut Brahmana. So the Avadhut Brahmana who is mentioned, who met Yadu, that was Dattatreya. So we can see the relation here. Yadu met that Avadhut Brahmana who had 24 gurus. And that is mentioned here also. So that's how you can understand. Okay. Tata Saptama Akutyam.
Tata Saptama Akutyam.
Rucher Yagyobhyajayata. Sayamadhyay Surganai. Apat Swayam Bhuvantaram.
Seventh incarnation was Yagna, the son of Prajapati Ruchi, and his wife Akuti. He controlled the period during the change of Swambhu Manu and was assisted by demigods such as his son Yama.
So this story comes in the 4th canto again. He is the son of Akuti, one another daughter of Swambhu Manu. Akuti was married to Prajapati Ruchi and they wanted the Supreme Lord as their son. So Lord appeared as an avatar, as Yagya. And again, the activities of Yagya are mentioned in the 8th canto where he protected Swayambhuva Manu. Swayambhu Manu, once he was doing tapasya and the demons, they attacked him. That time, this yagya, he protected Swayambhu Manu. So that is mentioned here.
Hare Krishna, please. I have doubt.
Yes.
In the text number 5, in the purport, Prabhupada writes, Yagya as Swayambhu Manu. And here Yagya as Indra. I got a little confused.
Where?
Text number 5, the Manus who are prominent within the universe are as follows: Yagya as Swayambhu Manu, Vibhu as Swarachisa Manu, Satyasena as Uttama Manu.
Yeah, Lord is.
Okay. So this yagya is different. Mataji. Same name comes many times, just like Janaka. Janaka is not one personality. There are many Janakas in the history of Vedic culture. Janaka basically means the father of the Praja. So Mother Sita's father is Janaka, but he is not the only Janaka. There are many Janakas. There are many Yadus. So that's how there are many Yagyas. One of the name of Swayambhu Manu is Yagya.
Okay, thank you.
Hari. So this, now we'll go to the 8th verse. So Prabhupada writes, during the period of Swayambhu Manu, there was no suitable living being who could occupy the post of Indra. God himself at that time became Indra. So what happens in every Manvantara, as we discussed, Sureshwaraha, Indra, there is an Indra. But if nobody is qualified to become Indra, then Lord himself becomes the Indra. So one time in this Swayambhu Manu period, there was nobody who was qualified to become Indra. So this Yagya became Indra at that time. Now the next verse. Ashtame Meru Devyam tu. You can unmute.
Devyam tu.
Nabher Jata Urukramaha. Darshayan Vartmadhiranam. Sarva Ashrama Namaskritam.
The 8th incarnation of the King Rishabha, son of King Nabi.
Navi and his wife, Merudevi.
Please continue. Or else can read.
The 8th incarnation was King Rishabh, the son of King Nabhi, and his wife Meru Devi. In this incarnation, the Lord showed the path of perfection, which is followed by those who have fully controlled their senses and who are honored by all others of life.
So the story of Rishabdev comes in the 5th canto, where he teaches all his 100 sons, headed by Bharat Maharaj, about the principles of human and how to follow the Varnashram order, starting with the verse Nayam Deho Deha Bhajam Niloke. So in the purport, Prabhupada writes about the Varnashram system, Sannyasa, Vanprastha, Grihastha, Brahmachari, and then he says there are 4 types of Sannyasa also: Kutichak, Bahudak, Parivrajagacharya, and Paramahamsa. So what is Kutichak? Kutichak means, after taking Vanprastha life, if somebody wants to become sannyasi, so immediately the transition is very difficult. So what he does, he stays away from the family in a hut, and all the facilities are provided by the family. So therefore he is called as Kutichak, Kutiya bana ke jo rehte hain. Then after some time, he goes away from the family, Bahudak. Then he leaves without any dependence on anyone. He roams around and he keeps traveling and keeps teaching the message of Lord. That is called as Parivrajagacharya. And then ultimate stage of sannyas is Paramahamsa, where he is completely dependent on the Lord, completely fearless.
Prabhuji, Bahudaka?
Bahudaka means he stays away from the family, but still not so far. He stays within the, just outside of the village or the town. So Kutichaka means he stays little away from the family in a hut. Bahudak means little far from the family. Parivrajaka means no connection with the family at all. So that is how the 4 orders are described. So Prabhupada writes all about that. Prabhupada writes how he instructed his sons on the path of perfection. Okay, so we'll not go into the detail of that. We'll go to the next verse. Rishibhir yachito bheje
Rishibhiryachito veje
navam parthivam vapuhu
Navavam Parthivam Vabu,
dugdhe mam aushadhi vipras
Sukkema,
tenayam saushattamaha.
Tena Yamsa Uttamaga. O Brahmanas, in the 9th incarnation of the Lord, prayed for the 5 sages, accepted the body of King Pritha, who cultivated the land to yield various produce, and for that reason, the earth was beautiful and attractive.
Again, this pastime comes in the 4th canto, where the Lord appeared as an Shaktyavesh avatar, and Prithu Maharaj represents the Palana Shakti. Palana Shakti means administrative potency. So one of the descendants of Priyavrat, Anga Maharaj, he had a son called Vena. He was a very, very sinful and demoniac son. He would kill his friends while playing, and he would not follow any of the instructions. He would even insult the Brahmanas. He would not follow their instructions. And as a result of that, there was complete chaos in the society, Vedic culture. So all the Brahmanas, they came and they instructed this Vena. But Vena, he said, a king is a representative of the Lord. You all should serve me. You are not following the Vedic culture because king is the representative. You should follow and worship me. Brahmanas, they became so angry. They just did hunkar, and with that sound, they killed this Vena. And then they churned the body of Vena because there was no king. So they churned the legs of the Vena, and then a very dark complexioned personality named Bahuka, he came out, and he was given a forest area, Nishada race. So you go to the forest because he was born of the sinful inclinations of Prithuma, of the Vena. So he was told, okay, you go to forest. Again, they churned the hands of Vena, and from there, Prithu Maharaj and Archi, they were born. So Prithu Maharaj's glories are described in the 4th canto. So Prabhupada writes the history of this Prithu Maharaj in the purport a little bit. We'll go to the next verse. Rupam sajagrihe matsyam
Rupam
Chakshishodari samplave
Chakshushodari Samplave,
Navyaropamahimayam
Avyarayam,
Apad Vaivaswatam manum.
Papadvaisvatamanu.
When there was a complete inundation after the period of Chakshusha Manu, and the whole world was deep within water, the Lord accepted the form of fish and protected Vaibhav Manu, keeping him up on a boat.
Okay. So this comes in the 8th canto. So this king Satyavrata, who was there in the 6th Manvantara, now he has become Vaivaswata Manu. So Satyavrata, he has taken birth from Vivaswan, and he has become Vaivaswata Manu in this Manvantara. So that is the story which is mentioned. So when this fish incarnation appeared, first of all, it appeared in as a small fish when Satyavrat king went to take bath, and he put water in his hand to offer to Mother Ganga. There was a small fish. And the fish spoke, oh, please don't leave me here. There are big, big fishes. They'll eat me. Please save me. So king brought him to the palace, put it in the small jar. When the fish grew, then to the size of a big bowl, and then a lake, then a well, then a lake, and then ocean. Then this king realized, oh, he is not an ordinary fish, he is the Supreme Lord, maybe. Then Lord told him, from 7 days from now, there'll be a inundation. At that time, you take all the species of life on a boat, and I will appear as a fish there. You tie that boat with the help of a Vasuki to my horn, and I will drive you very safely. So that comes in the 8th canto, that is mentioned here. Next verse. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions.
So this description of the Matsyavatar and Satyavrata king, this matches closely with the biblical description of the Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
Is there a correlation?
There is. I don't know the correlation, but it matches with that. That's what they also say, but they don't have the complete understanding of how it happened. So it's possible, because that's how the creation was saved by this Noah, this personality. Yeah, it is mentioned, but they say this happened in the beginning of the creation, but they don't tell the exact details of that. So this personality is not the first Manvantara, it is the 6th Manvantara person. So like
okay.
During Jakshusha Manvantara, there was a flood of water, and Matsya protected the person who would be Vaivaswata Manu. Sridhar Swami says that though there is not a flood at the end of this Manvantara, an illusory flood was shown to Satyavrata for fun. It was actually a illusory flood. That's what Sridhar Swami says. Okay, so there are details described by various.
Why is this illusory flood for fun means?
See, when acharyas they say something, it is contextual. You should always see from the acharya's point of view. So this Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that this flood, it was an additional flood. This inundation was an additional inundation because this happened in the middle of the Manvantara. It doesn't happen like that. And inundation happens only after 14 Manvantaras pass by, right? When Brahmaji sleeps, then only inundation happens. Otherwise, inundation doesn't happen. But this inundation was special to show mercy to Satyavrata Muni. So he quotes from another Purana, Vishnu Dharmottar Vajra. He asks Markandeya Muni, what happens at the end of Manvantara? He says, the great Lord in the form of water agitated countless waves, covers the earth and lower planets with water. Oh Yadava, who is this Vajra? This is Vajra Nabha, the grandson of Krishna. So grandson of Krishna, he asks Markandeya about what happens at the end of annihilation. So he's saying, what happens at the end of this Manvantara? So there is a partial annihilation which happens at the end of every Manvantara. And there is not complete, but all the lower Bhu, Bhuva, Swa, they all get submerged at the end of day of Brahma. So some acharyas say no annihilation happens at the end of Manvantara. Some acharyas say no, little partial annihilation happens. So different acharyas, they have different viewpoints about this. Okay, so we'll go ahead. Sura Surana Mudadim
Surana
Mandarachalam Tatre Kamata Rupena Krishna Ekadashe Vibhuhu.
The 11th incarnations of God took the form of a tortoise, whose shell served as a pivot for the Mandara, which was being used as a churning rod by the theists and atheists of the universe. Hare Krishna.
So this pastime also comes in the 8th canto, where Devtas and the demons, they wanted to Samudra Manthan, and they kept this Mandar, huge Mandar mountain in the Shirodak ocean. Where is this Shirodak ocean? What was actually churned?
Guruji, this is above the Brahmaloka. This is the
Okay.
topmost. It is like an embassy within the material world, spiritual embassy.
No, it is one of the 7 oceans created by Priyavrata Maharaj.
So this is not that Shvetadvipa which is above Brahmaloka. This is the Shira Sagar. There were 7 oceans which Priyavrata Maharaj created. So the Shir Sagar, which is there on the Bhumandal, it was churned, and from there all these things came out. So Mandarachal was put there, and they started churning. So Mandar mountain, because of the weight, started going down. So then Lord appeared as this Kurma, Keshava Dhita Kurma Sharira Jai Jagadisha Hare. And he said that, when the Mandar was moving on the back of Kurma, he was having a very pleasing sensation, because we all have experienced when we have itch at the back. If somebody scratches that, oh, bahut acha lagta hai, That's what was experienced by Kurma Dev. Okay. Dhanvantaram Dwadashamam Trayodashamam evacha Ayat Surananyan Mohinya Mohayan Striya
In the 12th incarnation, the Lord appeared as Dhanvantari, and in the 13th, he allured the thieves by charming the beauty of a woman, and gave nectar to the demigods to drink.
Okay, so 12th and 13th are Dhanvantari and Mohini Murti. Mohini Murti, she cheated all the demons and then gave all the nectar to the Devatas. And then the 14th verse, the 14th avatar, which is today's festival, that is Narsimha Chaturdashi. Chaturdasham Narasimham Daitendra Murjitam Tadarakara Jairura Kirakam Katikritiyatha.
In the 14th incarnation, the Lord appeared as a Narasimha and bifurcated the strong body of the atheist Hiranyakashipu with his nail, just as a carpenter ears a skin. Hare Krishna.
So this is the wonderful pastime which comes in the 7th canto. We can speak for hours and hours and hours, but we'll not speak. We'll continue next verse. So we'll go to the next verse. Next is Vaman Dev's appearance. Panchadasham Vamanakam Ritva Gadadvarambale Padatrayam Yachamanaha Pratyadit Sustripishtapam.
In the 15th incarnation, the Lord assumed the form of Dwarf Brahmana, Vamana, and visited the area of sacrifice arranged by the Maharaja Bali. Although at the heart, he was willing to regain the kingdom of the 3 planetary systems. He simply asked for the donation of 3 steps of the land.
So this story again comes in the 8th canto, where Vamanadev, he cheated Bali Maharaj on the pretext of asking 3 steps of land. He took away everything. And after giving up everything, still Vamanadev didn't leave him. He said, oh, 3rd step is still remaining. So he said, you can't fulfill. So he bound Bali Maharaj in front of everyone. And he was insulted so much in front of his wife, his subordinates, entire kingdom. So Bali Maharaj says, oh my Lord, in the past, many of the superiors, they have punished their subordinates, but none of them have punished as you have punished me. You have punished me so much, but still I surrender unto you. That's how Bali Maharaj became a Mahajana. That is described in the 8th canto in great detail. Next verse. Avatare Shodashame
Avatare Shodashme
Pashyan Brahma Druho Nripan
Pasyan Brahma Dhruvanupan
Trisapta Kritava Kupito Istatrana Karon Mahim.
In the 16th incarnation of the Godhead, the Lord as Bhrigupati annihilated the administrative class, Kshatriyas, 21 times, being angry with them because of their rebellion against the Brahmanas, the intelligent class.
So this story comes in the 9th canto. There was a great powerful personality known as Kartivirya Arjuna. He had 1,000 hands. So one time he was moving in his kingdom and he found Jamadagni. And this Jamadagni sage, he was staying simple in the forest in an ashram. And Kartivirya Arjuna, he came with all his big army of elephants, horses, chariots, and thousands of soldiers. And this Jamadagni, he welcomed this king and he gave nice hospitality. He gave such wonderful feast to all the soldiers and horses and elephants that this Kartivirya Arjuna was shocked from where he's getting all this. Then Jamadagni told, I have a cow, Kamdhenu cow. So, and that cow gives me everything. So Kartivirya Arjuna says, look, whatever good a person has belongs to the king. Please give this cow to me. But Jamadagni said, no, I can't live without this cow. Cow gives me milk and I can do yajna because of that. I get ghee because of that. So Kartivirya Arjuna, he didn't listen. And there was a argument which happened between Jamadagni and Kartivirya Arjuna. And Kartivirya Arjuna stole away, forcibly kidnapped this Kamdhenu. So when this Parshuram returned, that time Parshuram was not there in the ashrama. So Parshuram returned, he came to know the entire story. So he went and he killed Kartivirya Arjuna and brought the Kamdhenu back. So the sons of Kartivirya Arjuna, they became so angry and envious. One time when Parshuram was not there, they came and attacked Jamadagni and beheaded Jamadagni, killed him and took away the head with them. So Parshuram, he went and he destroyed all the 10,000 sons of Kartivirya Arjuna, and then he went on to destroy all the Kshatriyas. 21 times he destroyed all the Kshatriyas all over the earth because they were not following the principles of Dharma. So that is the story of this Parshuram, Bhrigupati. Prabhupada writes, whenever there is disobedience on the part of Kshatriyas, the Brahmanas, they are, and against the order of the learned and intelligent Brahmanas, the administrators are removed by force from the post. Next verse. Tata saptadashe jataha Satyavatyam parasharat Chakre vedataroh shakha Drishtva pumso alpamedhasaha.
Thereafter, in the 17th incarnation of Godhead, Sri Vyasadeva appeared in the womb of Satyavati through Parasara Muni, and he divided the one Veda into several branches and sub-branches, seeing that people in general were less intelligent.
So now the 17th avatar is Vyasadeva, who was born from the womb of Satyavati and Parashara. We know the story which comes in Mahabharata. So Satyavati, she was known as Matsya Gandha, and because she was the daughter of the Matsya king. And her seva was, she would take all the pilgrims, all the sages, across the river. She would row the boat. So one time Parashar Muni came, and as she was taking Parashar Muni across the boat, across the Ganga, Parashar Muni could see that this is a right time for Lord to appear in this world. So, many people, they portray this pastime as a very, very, in a very deviated way. They say Parashar was attracted by lusty desires and he forcibly impregnated Satyavati. But that is not the case. Parashar, he is not an ordinary person. He is a father of Vyasa, and he is a personality who wrote various scriptures. So he could see that this is the right time, and if Lord appears in this time, then it will be very, very beneficial. Just like for a farmer, he knows the exact time when it will rain. So the great sages, they know when Lord is going to appear. So he created a fog around this Dweepa, because Satyavati, first of all, she was surprised. How can I do it? She said, no. He said, your virginity will be maintained. And then Lord Parashar Muni impregnated Satyavati, and then she became Gandhavati. She became Yojana Gandha. Her bodily odor, fishy odor, went away and she became fragrant. And that's how Vyasdev was born. And this fragrant attracted Shantanu later. So again, we should understand this Vyasa is a post. What is the name of the current Vyasa?
Krishna Dwapayan.
Krishna Dwaipayan Vyasa. Who will be the next Vyasa? In every Yuga cycle, there is a Vyasa. You will be surprised to know if you don't know.
Vaishampayan?
No. Who will be the next Vyasdev? आपको बताऊंगा तो आप लोग shock हो जाएंगे.
Ashwatthama.
Ashwatthama is going to be the next Vyasa. Yes, Currently, he is taking training from Vyasdev in Badrinath. So we should not think that, oh, by Ashwatthama, so sinful. How can he become Vyas? Every saint has a past. Every sinner has a future. So when we hear stories from Bhagavatam, we should never judge the personalities. We should learn from the personalities. We should never ever judge, अरे इंद्र so foolish, मुझे भी समझता है इसको क्यों नहीं समझता इतना गलती करता रहता है. We should never ever think like this. Because these personalities, they are not ordinary personalities, they are empowered personalities, and when they make certain mistakes, that is for us to learn, and we should never blame the person. Otherwise we'll be committing Vaishnava Aparadh, because they'll be liberated. We hear the story of Pururava, such a lusty fellow. You may say, अरे इतना कामुक आदमी, ये उर्वशी के साथ इतना भोग करने के बाद भी वो नहीं सुधरा है. But the second canto, if you read second canto, 8th chapter, where Brahma is telling Narada, who can understand the Lord? He tells a list of pure devotees, and in that list, Pururava is there. In that list, Yayati is there. In that list, Shaubhari Muni is there. They are all pure devotees. They have done some mistake in the past. But, if some of our old friends, they come and see us. क्या पहले क्या था क्या हो गया ये? पहले तो क्या गड़बड़ किया इसने. So if somebody says that he is always like that, you should not see the person from the past life point of view. That is an offense.
Prabhuji also heard this Ashwadama, he took shelter of Srimati Radharani in Barsana, so his temple is there in Barsana.
Yeah, I have also heard this. I don't know how authentic it is, but still we should know that he is now a pure soul. He is trained as an acharya. He'll become the next Vyasadeva. So that is what is described, and that's how we should see the personalities of Bhagavatam. We should never ever judge them, never blame them, because all the personalities of Bhagavatam, they are not ordinary. Even if they have done some sinful activity, they are getting purified In due course of time, they'll become pure. So Vyasadev, he appeared from the Satyavati's womb, and he divided the Vedas. We will discuss this more in the 4th chapter. It will come, where Vyasadev, out of mercy to all fallen conditioned souls of Kali Yuga, he divided the Vedas. Bhautikanam cha bhavanam bhakti rasham cha tatkritam ashraddadana nistatvan durmedhan rishitayusha durbhagam shajanan vikshya muni divyena chakshusha sarva varna shramanam yad dadhya uhitam amogadrik. This comes in the 4th chapter. Bhautikanam cha bhavanam. Vyasadev saw that people in general, their life duration will go down, their intelligence, their purification of existence is not there. So to show mercy to them, he divided the Vedas. So that is what is mentioned in the purport here.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
one question. So, see, when we say that okay, Vyasadeva, we are saying we are talking about incarnations of the Lord, and so we are saying Vyasadeva is incarnation of the Lord, and then we say that it is a post, and the Krishna Dvaipa and Vyasa is the personality who is occupying the post. I mean, it is really confusing. How do we understand this, Prabhuji?
What is the confusion?
So if he is the incarnation of the Lord, then how is it a post also?
Sometimes he is the incarnation of the Lord, sometimes he is the Jiva Tattva.
Okay.
But it is a post which is occupied by a person. Sometimes the person can be the Supreme Lord himself, sometimes the person can be ordinary Jiva. But it is a post, and the post has a name. You know, so there is no confusion in that. It is a post. Sometimes it is occupied by the Supreme Lord himself. Sometimes it is occupied by an ordinary Jiva who gets powers. So like that, it happens. Okay.
So, Prabhuji, just continuing with Mataji's question. So, Vyasa, that post is one of the 22 incarnations, or Krishna Dvaipayana Rishi is one?
Krishna Dvaipayan Rishi is one of the incarnations, not Vyasa the post.
So the post can be occupied by somebody who is not a.
So यहाँ पे mention, this is mentioned na Satyavatyam Parasharat. So the Vyasa born from Satyavati and Parashar, he is the avatar of the Lord. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Next verse. Naradevattvamapannaha Surakarya Chikirshaya Samudra Nigrahadini Chakre Viranyata Param.
In the 18th incarnation, the Lord appeared as King Rama in order to perform some pleasing work for the demigod. He exhibited superhuman powers and by controlling the Indian Ocean, and then killing the atheist King Ravana, who was the other side of the sea. Hare Krishna.
So this story comes in the 9th canto. Briefly, Shukdev Goswami mentions about Lord Ram also. Valmiki mentions in great detail the story of Lord Ram in Ramayana. And in order to perform some pleasing work, he built a bridge. Lord Ram actually could have walked on the ocean, but he didn't do that because he wanted that in future the devotee should get some means to glorify me. That's why he made this beautiful and unimaginable bridge. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, sometimes great demons like Hiranyakashipu are very famous due to advancing material civilization by the help of material science and other activities with the spirit of challenging the established order of the Lord. So Ravana, he was so powerful, he wanted to make a staircase to heaven. He wanted to go to heaven in the self-same body. But it is not possible. And because he kidnapped Mother Sita, he was destroyed in due course of time. Prabhupada says, what is the difficulty? If somebody says, how can Lord Ram make bridge on the water? How can stones float? Lord Ram's Prabhupada writes, Lord is floating planets in the air. What is the big deal if he floats a stone on the water? That's how Lord Ram is. So we'll just take a break for 5-10 minutes and we'll continue in some time.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna. So we'll continue.
Yes, Prabhuji.
It's 23rd verse. Now the 19th and 20th incarnation are described together. That is Krishna and Balaram. Ekona vimshe vimshati me
एकोनविंशे विंशति मे
Krishneshu prapya janmani
कृष्णसु प्राप्य जन्मनि
Ram Krishna iti bhuvo
रामकृष्णाविति भुवो
Bhagavan aharad bharam.
भगवान् अहरद्वरम्. The 19th and 20th incarnations, the Lord advented himself as Lord Balarama and Lord Krishna in the family of Vrishni, the Yadu dynasty, and by doing so, he removed the burden of the world.
Okay. So now Ekona vimshe, 19th and 20th incarnations are mentioned together. Vrishnishu, they appeared in the Vrishni dynasty as Ram and Krishna. So if you see, only in this verse, Bhagavan is mentioned by Sutta Goswami. Bhagavan Aharad Bharam, the Supreme Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, he appeared as Ram and Krishna to remove the burden of the world. So the entire 10th canto describes the glories of Lord Krishna and Balaram. So we'll not go into the detail of that. Now in the next 11th, in the 21st incarnation, Tata Kalau Sampravritte
तथा कलौ सम्प्रवृत्ते
Sammohaya Suradvisham
सम्मोहाय सुरद्विषां
Buddho Namnanjana Sutaha
बुद्धो नाम्नां जनसुतः
Ikateshu Bhavishyati.
निकटेषु भविष्यति. Then in the beginning of Kali Yuga, Lord will appear as Lord Buddha, the son of Anjana, the province of Gaya, just for the purpose of deluding those who are envious of the faithful feast.
So this personality, Lord Buddha, will appear at the end of Kali Yuga, and the details are also mentioned. So this Lord Buddha, so he is different from the Gautam Buddha which we hear about, you know. So the current Kali Yuga, which we hear about Gautam Buddha, he is not the Buddha who is mentioned in the Bhagavatam. He is a different Buddha, because this personality was born in Gaya, and this Bhagavatam Buddha, he was born in Gaya, and this personality who is mentioned in the current times, he is born in I forgot the village name.
Lumbini.
Lumbini, yes. So that's how this personality is different. So Bhagavatam Buddha, he appeared for a certain purpose when all the Brahmanas, they started deviating from the Vedic culture, and they started taking the shelter of the Vedas, which promote that, okay, there are some concessions, you can eat meat, you can kill animals. So that is what was not so liked by the Supreme Lord. So he appeared and said, okay, Vedas are telling that you should kill animals, reject all the Vedas. So he rejected all the Vedas, and then he said, okay, you worship me, follow me, ahimsa paramo dharma. So basically, indirectly, what he is doing, he cheated all the people and he allowed them to worship the Supreme Lord. In this way, they became purified in some way. That is mentioned by Srila Prabhupada. Buddha preached non-violence, taking pity on poor animals. He preached that he did not believe in the tenets of the Vedas and stressed the adverse psychological effects incurred by animal killing. So therefore, it is very important to understand that because Lord Buddha rejected the Vedas, we don't worship Lord Buddha as a Supreme Lord. We respect him as Supreme Lord, but we don't worship him. So that's what this Dashavatar Stotra Jayadev Goswami also writes, Nindasi yagya vidheraha shruti jatam sadaya ridaya dharashita pashughatam Keshavadrita Buddha Sharira Jaya Jagadish Hare. So he felt so much compassion for all the animals. So Lord feels the pain of each and every living entity. So that's how he appeared. Prabhupada writes, killing of the animals before the advent of Lord Buddha was the most prominent feature of the society. People claim that these were Vedic sacrifices. So why animals were killed in the Vedas? Why it was allowed and under what circumstances it was allowed? Anybody would like to tell?
So the Brahmanas were very pure and they chanted the mantras by which actually those animals would get a higher form of life. So
Yes. So first of all, the dead animal would be given a youthful body, young body. That was the purpose. Animal was not killed for, ever, for it was not gone. It was given a youthful body. So unless a Brahmana is qualified to give an animal a young body, the animal should not be killed. That's why in the Kali Yuga, 5 things are prohibited. Ashwamedham gavalambam sannyasam palapaitrikam devarena stotpattim kalau pancha vivarjayet. 5 things are prohibited. Ashwamedha, horse sacrifice; gavalambam, cow sacrifice; sannyas means mayavad sannyas is prohibited; offering flesh to the ancestors prohibited; devarena sutotpattim, begetting child from the husband's brother. If the husband is not able to procreate because of some reason, then the brother can procreate. And the famous example is this Dhritarashtra Pandu. They are born from Vyasadeva. He was the brother of Dhritarashtra. He was the brother of this Chitrangada and Vichitravirya. So therefore, all these animal killing and animal sacrifices, they were mentioned for some purpose, and they were used to show the powers of the mantra. And the animals were not killed forever. They were given a youthful body. And somewhere it is described in the scriptures that you can kill and you can eat animal flesh. But what are the conditions? The general things which we say in our journey of self-discovery. So why animal killing is allowed? Anybody would like to tell in what circumstance?
Only for survival, when no other food is available.
Okay, that is there. An emergency situation. Just give me one minute. There's one call which is coming again and again. Just give me 1 minute.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, there is no voice.
Just give me 1 minute, Prabhu. There's some
Yes,
call
Prabhu.
which is coming. Hare Krishna, sorry for the delay. Yeah. So in the scriptures, it is mentioned that in some circumstances one can eat meat. But we should understand that eating meat is not a recommendation, it is a concession. Just like if a person who has a diabetes goes to a doctor and doctor tells you should not eat sweets. So the first person says, okay, I will not eat sweets. Second person, he says, I cannot live without sweets. Please give me some concession. So doctor will say, okay, you can eat at least at the most once a week. That's all. So if this person comes out and meets the first person, he says, Are, doctor told him that you should not eat. And he told me I can eat once a week. So what is the ideal case? Ideally, we should not eat sweets. But if one cannot live without it, then one can eat. But there are lots of conditions to it. It is said that one can eat only a meat of goat. That too, he should not eat in city. He can eat only on Amavasya day. He should take the animal himself out of the city in the temple of Kali, cut the goat himself, and while cutting the animal, killing the goat, he should see in the eye of that goat and speak a verse. Mam sah bhakshayita mutra yasyam aham khidamyaham yasyam mam sattam pravadanti manishina. You know, in Hindi, meat is called mamsa. From where the word has come? From this verse. Mam saha. So this you have to speak in the ears that in this life, I am killing you. In the next life, you have the right to kill me. So in this way, speaking like this, you can kill that animal. So what is the purpose behind all these things? Any normal sane person will think, "Arey, itna jhanjat, itna mehnat kyun karna hai? Better give up eating non-veg." So that's why the recommendation was there. That's why the concession was there. It was not the recommendation. But some Brahmanas who did not follow the scriptures, they took undue advantage of it, and they started propagating animal killing is allowed. So to such Prabhupada writes, to such bewildered persons of atheistic propensity, Lord Buddha is the emblem of theism. He therefore first of all wanted to check the habit of animal killing. So then Prabhupada writes about Maharaj Parikshit. He said, only the animal killer cannot relish the transcendental message of the Supreme Lord. This verse comes in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. Nivritta tarshai rupagiyamana bhavaushada shrotra manobhirama kaha uttama shloka gunanubada puman virajyeta vina pashugnat. So in the beginning of the 10th canto, Parikshit Maharaj says, please continue speaking Krishna Katha. I am not satisfied hearing. Who can be satisfied hearing about the pastimes of the Lord? Who can remove the suffering of the material existence? It is only Bhavaushadi. Only an animal killer will not relish. Vina Pashughna. So that's what Prabhupada is writing here. But in Kali Yuga, so many people, they distorted the literatures and the Vedas, and they started animal killing rampantly. Nowhere it is mentioned in the scripture that you should open slaughterhouses. So Prabhupada very strongly, he defends, that why we should not kill animals. Animal killing is not allowed. And then he quotes Jayadeva Goswami also, who has glorified Lord Buddha. So this is the understanding Prabhupada writes in the last paragraph of this chapter, of this purport. Srimad Bhagvatam was composed just prior to the beginning of the age of Kali, and Lord Buddha appeared about 2600 years ago. Therefore, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Buddha is foretold. Such is the authority of this clear scripture. So when people say, how can you believe in scriptures? How can you believe scripture is all mythology? But we find such great details. Even Kalki is mentioned. Jesus Christ is mentioned. Bhavishya Puran. Muhammad is mentioned. Even in 12th canto, you will find the mention of Ashoka, Chandragupta Maurya, Chanakya. In the third canto, you will find the description of the embryology. So all these are profound truths which can establish the authenticity of the scriptures. So that's what Prabhupada writes, that Bhagavatam is without any defect. Now the 25th verse. Athaso yuga sandhyayam
Daso yuva sandhyam
tasu prayeshu rajasu
Pasyu Praya Rajasu
Anita Vishnu Yashaso
Janida Vishnu Yasaso
Namna Kalkir Jagatpatihi.
Nama Kalkir Jagatpati.
Therefore, at the conjunction of two yugas, the Lord of the creation will take his birth at the Kalki incarnation and become the son of Vishnu Yasha. At this time, the rulers of the earth will have degenerated into plunderers.
So this is another foretelling of the Kalki, who will appear at the end of Kali Yuga. Now only 5,000 years have passed, 4,27,000 years are remaining. And Kaliki will appear at the end of Kali Yuga. And his only role will be killing, destroying all the demoniac people. So Prabhupada writes all that. And then in the 26th verse, so the Goswami says, Arey, Lord's incarnations are unlimited. There are as many incarnations, as many waves in the ocean are there. Avatara hi asankheya. Hare Sattva Dvijah.
Hare Sattva Nudya
Yatha Vidasina Kulyah. Sarasasyu Sahasrashah.
O Brahmanas, the incarnations of the Lord are innumerable, like rivals flowing from the inexhaustible source of the water.
Avatara hi asankhya. They are innumerable incarnations of Hari. Sattvanidhe. They are all pure goodness. Supreme Lord is never contaminated by any of the modes. He is always Shuddha Sattva. Although Lord appears in so many incarnations, he appears as Purushavataras. He never comes in contact with material modes. He never gets affected by it. There are as many incarnations, as many rivulets are there. So Prabhupada writes that list of incarnations is not complete. There are unlimited incarnations. So Prabhupada quotes this verse from Prahlad Maharaja's prayer. Shri Prahlad said in his prayer, you manifest in as many incarnations as there are species of life. Itham ritirya rishi deva jhasavatarei lokan vibhavayasi hamsi jagat pratipan dharman mahapurushapashi yugan vrittam anna kalapyada bhavatriguyot sattvam. This is the only verse where directly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is mentioned as Channa Avatar. In Kali Yuga, you have incarnated garbed as a devotee. So you appear in many forms, O my Lord, in the family of the aquatics, vegetation, reptiles, birds, beasts. But why are you appearing? For the sustenance of the faithful. But in Kali Yuga, you appear in a hidden incarnation, Channaha Kalaha. So that is the incarnation of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has appeared not to kill the people, but he has appeared to kill the demoniac propensity which is there in the heart of each and every living entity. So therefore Prabhupada writes, such incarnations are distinguished by specific extraordinary feats which are impossible to be performed by any living being. This is the test, general test to identify the incarnation. Nobody can claim and say, oh, I am also God. No, we'll find God in every gully nowadays. Every another person says, oh, my guru is God. But who is God? How to understand? So if somebody tells, okay, this person is God, so how will you deal with that thing? So if somebody says, oh, this person is God, so how should a person, how should an ISKCON devotee react to it or respond to it? Anybody would like to tell something?
The word Bhagavan defines the six opulences. Then he should have some markings on his feet. But then only we can accept one as a incarnation of Lord.
Yes. Any other that this personality is an incarnation of the Lord? Bodily markings, then what else?
He should be mentioned in the scriptures.
Scriptures.
Mentioned in the scriptures, yes. What else?
Some special activities nobody can do.
He should perform the dharma, fulfill the dharma of that age. Anything else?
He should lift Govardhan.
Okay. He should perform some extraordinary activity which is not performed by anyone. That's why Arjuna, why he asked Krishna, Krishna, I want to see that form. In the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he heard about the vibhutis of the Lord. And then Arjuna said, I'm not just satisfied with audio, I want to see the video also. You know, please show me that form. So therefore, Lord showed him that form. Why? So that in future, if somebody tells, okay, I am God, okay, show your universal form, show your Virat Rupa. So there are so many ways we can verify. Is this personality God? Is he mentioned in the scriptures? Has he exhibited some extraordinary superhuman activities? Is he accepted by any other great personality? Arjuna tells, not because I am your friend and I am speaking, that's why you are God. No. Sorry?
We should talk about Shastra.
Okay, he should speak about scriptures. Okay, yeah, that many people, they speak about scriptures. He should be mentioned in the scriptures. So Arjuna says, not only me, Asito, Devalo, Vyasa, Swayam Chaiva, Brivishime, there are many great sages who are telling. We don't accept Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as God because, oh, I like yellow color. I like singing and he also sings. No, because so many scriptures, they mention the appearance of the Lord, great personalities. Shad Goswamis, they accepted him. He manifested his bodily features. He fulfilled the dharma of Kali Yuga. Kalo Sankirtana Praya Yajanti Sumedasaha Yagyai Sankirtana Praya. So that's how Prabhupada writes that devotee, incarnation of the Lord, should perform some extraordinary feats, which is impossible for any being, any living being. That is a general test to identify an incarnation, directly or indirectly empowered. Okay, so next verse. Now, we discussed this verse, a similar verse which comes in the 11th canto. The same verse is coming here again. The 6 avatars of the Lord in every manvantar. Rishayo manavo deva.
Rishayo manavo deva.
Putra mahojasaha. Rishayo kala sarve harereva. The prajapataya smritaha.
All the rishis, manus, demigods, and descendants of Manu, who are specially powerful, plenary portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. This includes the Prajapatis.
So these are the 6 incarnations who appear in every manvantara. the Rishis, the Saptarishis, Manu, the Devatas, headed by Sureshwara, Indra, then the descendants of Manu, Manuputra, and the plenary portions, Manvantara Avatar, Amsha Avatar. So this is what is described. Now, the 28th verse is the most important verse. And this verse is called as Paribhasha Sutra of entire Bhagavatam. So we should see all the verses of Bhagavatam with the spectacle of this verse. If you see any confusions anywhere, please refer to this verse to understand who is the supreme. Because sometimes there may be some confusions. In that time, please don't take those conclusions. Accept this verse as the Paribhasha Sutra, the very famous verse. Okay. Ete cham shkalah pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Hridayanti Yuge Yuge.
All the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of plenary portions of the Lord, but Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists.
Ete, all these avatars which are mentioned earlier, all the 22 incarnations which are mentioned, in that list, Krishna and Balram is also there. So Suta Goswami wants to clarify. All these others, they are incarnations of Krishna. Etecha, Amsha and Kalaha. What is an Amsha? What is Kala? Amsha means the plenary portion. Kala means the portion of the plenary portion. They are all either expansions of the expansions of the expansions of Krishna, but Krishna is Supreme Lord. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. And why does he appear? Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Hridayanti Yuge Yuge. Whenever Indra is disturbed by the demoniac forces, Lord appears. So if you open this Subodhini around, I think 198 or around that verse, around that page, the explanation of this verse is given in great detail. This verse is called as Emperor verse. Before that, we'll read Prabhupada's purport. So Prabhupada writes, in this particular stanza, Krishna is distinguished from other incarnations. He is Avatari. Avatari means the source of all the avatars. He is counted among the incarnations because out of his causeless mercy, he descends from his abode. Avatar means one who descends. So then Prabhupada writes that Lord sometimes takes avatar, but sometimes he comes himself. How many times Lord comes in a day of Brahma himself?
Once in a day.
Only once in a day of Brahma. In 72 yuga cycles, only in one yuga cycle Krishna comes, and that is this yuga cycle. That shows our fortune. Krishna is not going to come directly himself in his same self form in all future yugas. It has not come in the previous cycles also. Sometimes only once in a day he comes. And he shows.
We wanted some clarification here that Krishna avatar will take place in all Dwapar yugas, no? But only once he will come himself. That means when that time he is coming, there will be no Krishna in the Golok Dham. He will come himself.
No, not like that.
Other times he will send some Krishna, maybe his expansion into the Dwapar Yuga or the Bhumandal.
That is the understanding of Swayam Prakash and Prabhav Prakash. When Krishna he was dancing with all the gopis, he was there with each and every gopi. When Krishna was with all the queens, he was with each and every queen. In the Vrindavan, he was there with each and every gopa. It is not that when Krishna descends, he has to come and nobody is there in Goloka, abhi Krishna gaye wahan se. No, it is not like that. Krishna expands and his expansions are complete expansions. They are Swayam Prakasha. They are self-same. But in other yuga cycles, Krishna sends one of the avatars. In all the other yugas, Vasudeva expands as Krishna. You know, Mahavishnu. So first Sankarshan, Krishna, from Krishna comes Balram. From Balram comes first Chaturvyuha, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. Then from the Sankarshan feature of the first Chaturvyuha, again another Chaturvyuha comes, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. So this second Chaturvyuha Vasudeva appears as Krishna in all the other yuga cycles. Okay?
Okay. प्रभु जी एक बार रिपीट कीजिए ना.
Krishna expands as Balram. Balram expands as first Chaturvyuha, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. From the Sankarshan of the first Chaturvyuha, ये पहला चतुर्व्यूह हो गया. इसमें जो Sankarshan है, another expansion, another Chaturvyuha comes from Sankarshan. Another Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. From the Vasudeva feature, Krishna appears. That is called as Vasudeva Krishna. From Sankarshan, who comes? We just discussed.
Mahavishnu.
Second Chaturvyuha comes.
Mahavishnu appears from Sankarshan. From Pradyumna? From Aniruddha? So this Vasudeva Krishna is an expansion of Krishna. He is not Krishna himself. That's what happens in all the other yuga cycles. But in this one yuga cycle, only Krishna comes himself. Okay? So that is the understanding.
Last time में क्या बोले प्रभु जी आप कि one yuga cycle?
Krishna comes himself. वो original वाले Krishna, अवतारी Krishna जिनसे बलराम आ रहे हैं, he comes himself only once.
Okay. अब बाकी
the other avatars, all the other yuga cycles, his Vasudev Krishna comes. From the Vasudev expansion, second Chaturvyuha में जो Vasudev है ना, he comes as Krishna. Vasudev Krishna बोलते हैं उनको. So whenever Krishna descends, all the other incarnations merge in the body of Krishna. So therefore it is said that whenever Krishna is killing a demon, it is not Vrindavan Krishna. It is Vasudev Krishna. Vrindavan parityajya padam ekam na gacchati. Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Okay. So that is the understanding. So Prabhupada writes, Lord Krishna appears in many expansions. They are partly manifested through the portions or part of the portions. When in the room small electric bulbs are displayed, it does not mean that electric powerhouse is limited by small bulbs. The same powerhouse can supply power to operate large-scale industrial dynamos with greater volts. Similarly, the incarnation of the Lord display limited powers because so much power is needed at that time. Some avatar has some specific potency, some other avatar has another potency, just like Vyasadeva is the literary incarnation. Prithu Maharaj is the administrative potency. Kumaras, they are Jnana Shakti. So they are different Shaktis, they appear. And sometimes Lord comes himself. That is what is mentioned by Prabhupada. Then in the next paragraph, Prabhupada writes that Lord Parshuram and Narasimha displayed unusual opulence by killing Kshatriyas and killing Hiranyakashipu. So sometimes Lord appears in, and exhibits some powers. In other avatars, he exhibits some other powers. So he says, Nara Narayan Rishi exhibits the renunciation. The opulence of renunciation is exhibited by Nara Narayan Rishi. Opulence of knowledge is exhibited by Dattatreya, Kapila, Matsya, Kumaras. So that's what Prabhupada writes. According to next paragraph, Prabhupada writes, according to Sri Jiva Goswami's statement, in accordance with authoritative sources, Krishna is the source of all other incarnations. It is not that Krishna has any source of incarnation. Krishna is the Samam Bonam. In the next paragraph, Prabhupada, he mentions, he himself has expanded himself in various parts, portions, and particles. Swayam Rupa, Swayam Prakasha, Tadekatma, Prabhava, Vaibhava, Vilasa, Avatara, Avesh, and Jiva. So if you want to know the details, please read Chaitanya Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrit, Madhya Leela, 25th chapter. All the details of avatars are mentioned there. Then Prabhupada mentions Krishna, he has 100% potency. Lord Vishnu has 81. Brahma has, Lord Shiva has 75. And Brahma has, So Krishna has 64, Lord Vishnu 61, Lord Shiva has 55, and Brahma has 50. So you can calculate the percentage. So that's what Prabhupada mentions here. Prabhupada writes actually. Vishnu Tattvas possess up to 93%. Okay, sorry. Vishnu Tattvas 93. Shiva 84. And Brahma and Jiva 78. That's what Prabhupada writes here. So now we'll see Subodhini. A very detailed explanation is given about this verse. This verse is called as Emperor verse. So Chakravarti Thakur, he mentions in the purport to this, that are these avatars equal or graded? So this verse answers. All the previous avatars, they are mentioned, they are, some are amshas, some are kala of the Mahavishnu. Avatars, expansions and expansions of the expansions. Exalted jivas empowered by the Lord with portions of his powers, such as knowledge, are called avesha. Even Shesha, Ananta Shesha, who is he in this material world? How does he take birth? Who is Ananta Shesha? Who is the mother of Ananta Shesha? Kadru, So Ananta Shesha, he is a Avesh of the Lord. He is an empowered incarnation. So we'll see the Subodhini. So Chakravarti Thakur, he mentions this verse, Aradhya Bhagavan Rajesha Tanaya Tadham Vrindavanam. So who is Aradhya? The supreme worshipable object is Krishna. He is Vrajesh Tanaya. He is son of Nanda Maharaj. And his abode is Vrindavan. And the foremost of the worshippers of Krishna is the gopis. Where it is mentioned, Srimad Bhagvatam Pramanam Amalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. Bhagavatam is Amalam Puranam, where all this is mentioned. So Jiva Goswami mentions that this verse is the emperor verse of Bhagavatam. Jiva Goswami calls this verse as Paribhasha Sutra. Paribhasha Sutra is stated only once, generally in the beginning, and provides the key for proper understanding of the entire work. So therefore, there are so many verses in the Bhagavatam, but this verse is the emperor verse. So if you have any confusions or any contradictions you see in Bhagavatam, please see this verse as the guiding principle. that will save, that will protect us from any confusions. So what is the meaning of this verse? Ete, all the incarnations which are mentioned so far, cha. Cha means all the incarnations which are not in the list. जो यहाँ पे mention है और जो यहाँ पे mention नहीं है, they are all amsha and kala. They are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions. Of whom? Pumsaha, of the personality. Who is that personality? Krishna. Tu. Tu means but. So tu distinguishes Krishna from all the previous incarnations. Krishna's tu. So he is the personality. So it is emphasized here. He is the supreme personality. He is Bhagavan Swayam. So Jiva Goswami, he describes in great detail. He does a detailed analysis of this verse, which is very technical. We'll discuss next time. We'll stop here. So you all can read this verse, this Paribhasha Sutra Emperor verse. The next time we'll discuss more about this. So we'll end here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any questions?
Prabhuji wanted to ask, just like Krishna comes in every Dwapar, Mahaprabhu also comes in every Kali Yuga?
Yes, but he comes himself only one Yuga cycle. That is this. After Krishna comes himself in the next Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes himself. In all the other Yuga cycles, Gaur Narayan, the avatar of Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes.
And where does he stay in the spiritual world?
Goloka has 3 portions: Navadvip, Vrindavan, and Dwarka.
Okay.
So in the Navadvip portion, Mahaprabhu is eternally performing his pastimes. If you want to know the detail, Jaiva Dharma describes in great detail that those who are Gaura Bhaktas, they go to the eternal Navadvipa in the Goloka. In Goloka, there is a Navadvip portion also where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is eternally performing his pastimes. So if somebody is a Krishna, if he is more inclined to Krishna Bhakta, Krishna Lila, he goes to Goloka portion. If somebody is a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, he goes to this portion. And he says, some people, they expand into 2. Some Nitya Siddha devotees, they are in Goloka, Vrindavan also, and Navadvip also, eternal. That's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes. Okay.
Where would you like to go, Prabhuji?
Well, I am just thinking of coming out of lust, anger, greed. Uske baad sochenge baad mein. Okay, any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada.
Hare
So
Krishna.
next week we'll be having our test.
Dandvat Pranam.
Next Dandvat Pranam nahi, test hai next week.
किस टाइम होगा?
First chapter test, So please prepare nicely. Hare Krishna.
मुझे
Timing same. From 3 to 6. So 3 to 3:20 test will be there. And then we'll have
Only 20 minutes, Prabhu.
sorry, 3 to 3:30 test will be there, half an hour of test.
Half an hour test.
Yes. Okay. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavad pranam.
Jai Granth.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Dandavad. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavad pranam.